Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam, Quick Hit. Jake Eckert on New Orleans Suspects Jazz Fest.
Yeah. So, I mean, you had asked the question about Jazz Fest and with the full suspects, with members of the suspects, yada yada. We're at Zony Mash, which is a newer venue. It's really cool. It was an old movie theater, and they have an outdoor stage and a big indoor room. This one will be cool because it's a couple sets, and we'll have two drummers, one being Eddie on the second set, and Adam Deitch will be the other drummer from Lettuce.
from Leonard.
And we'll also have my buddy Kirk Fletcher playing guitar. And I don't know if you know Kirk, but Kirk's a legendary guitar player. One of my favorite guitar players in the world. And he just moved back from Europe. He has quite the career in the blues world. He was in the fabulous Thunderbirds, and he played for Charlie Musselwhite. And he was in, like, back in the day, he was in bands like Tony, Tony, Tony. But he's got his own. Check out Kirk Fletcher. It's, he's got. But Kirk's a heavyweight, and I got off the phone with him this morning. Actually, he was just playing with John Cleary, jamming with John out, and he said he sat in with them in L.A. last night, and he moved to Nashville. He was living in Switzerland, so we're kind of reconnecting as we were very close friends when he was in the States for a lot of years. And I admire his guitar playing as much as any guitar player I can think of, and it's kind of undeniable. Kirk has more followers on social media than Deitch and us all combined, but he may not always fall into that genre. He's more of in the blues thing, and that'll be a fun. So let me say the next night we're at the Maple Leaf, April 28th. The 27th is the April 27th is the show at Zony Match. That's the first Thursday, my birthday. And the 28th we're at the Maple Leaf. We've done it 10 years in a row, I believe. Called it Leafopotomus, and we have some guests that aren't announced that I don't want to announce, but I will on being on the bill. We have Brandon Taz. Have you seen Taz play?
I have.
Yeah, and was Colonel Bruce introduced me to Taz when he was 11. Taz was 11 years old, and he's got to be 17 or 18 now, I bet.
Yeah.
He's like bigger than me, which is not saying much, but he's all grown up and just like the super guitar slinger. We have Eric McFadden also playing with us. I don't know if you've heard Eric or not, but Eric's been another person the suspects have been collaborating with over the last decade or so. Lives out in the Bay Area. And there's some others that are going to come up that night, but I'm not at liberty to tell you yet.
Right.
I don't want to get in trouble. And then let's see, moving forward. Oh, and then we have a cool project. We do have another album coming out, by the way. We have a second album coming out, which is called Tribal Gold. And Tribal Gold is the Suspects in collaboration with the Golden Comanche Mardi Gras Indian tribe led by Big Chief Juan Pardo. And during the pandemic and before, this is a lot of what happened during the pandemic. We recorded all this stuff. We have two old in Mardi Gras Indian standards. If you don't know what Mardi Gras Indian music is, you probably do, but check out the Wild Chapatulas. The Wild Magnolias pioneered this. Big Chief Jolly.
Anders did a great song with maybe Donald Harrison.
I think it was Monk Boudreaux.
Monk Boudreaux, and it had that song, Let's Bury the Hatchet in Your Head.
Yes.
I was like, I love this.
Yeah, so we put out a whole album but we wrote original ones, because one thing I noticed in that culture, that's a culture, and I'm very careful to try to direct that too much. It was a true collaboration. I said, I will write songs together. I ain't going on the road back, and but if you guys want to collaborate, we've been friends for years, since.
So no, this isn't going to be done live anywhere at a Jazz Fest.
Oh, we do it live. This is at Jazz Fest. That's what I'm getting at. We do it live, and we've taken this on the road a couple times. And I'm saying, my point about the culture is, it's a very fragile thing, and I'm very apprehensive to position I like standing in the back. Does
Right.
that make sense? And
Right.
watching this go down. But Big Chief Juan Pardo is one of the most talented singers I've ever met. He's got a great history in the music business. And he's an amazing singer. And we wrote 7 original tunes, the two of us. We sat down and wrote 7 original tunes. And then the Suspects came and we played them all. And man, let me tell you, it's some heavy stuff. When it comes out, again, we're finished. And we're trying to figure out how we want to release this,
How to
exactly what's
distribute
going
it.
to come out. And we did release a single 2 weeks ago with that. It's called Indian Queen. You can find it. Oh, it's probably on the Suspects page, or if you go to Spotify, just type in. We have a couple singles off the album that's out. One's called Indian's Meat, and the other one's called Indian Queen, and they're both from that album. You can get which is called Tribal Gold. That's pretty cool. So we are then on the Tuesday. So now we've gone Thursday, Friday. I don't think we're playing Saturday, Sunday. I can't remember. Then Tuesday, we're at the Threadhead thing. I don't know if you know the Threadhead.
Yeah, Threadhead. Yeah.
We're doing the Tribal Gold at that. Then I got another side project, which is pretty cool. There's a band called Honey Island Swamp Band. Y'all heard of Honey Island? And I'm playing on a couple of their albums. They've been friends for a long time of mine from the beginning, very beginning of their band. And Aaron and I and a guy named Miles Weeks and a guy named Russ Broussard have a band called the Riverbenders. And we have a Facebook page and a website and stuff. It's probably out of date. And we have an album coming out too. And so as you say, we've been busy. And that is different than everything else. That's kind of where my roots lie, in kind of an Americana vibe. I play dobro and a hollow body guitar, and Aaron from Honey Island plays the mandolin, the harmonica, and acoustic guitar. Russ Broussard, who was from the Continental Drifters, he's John Grove's drummer. He's Susan Cowstill's husband. He's the drummer, and Miles Weeks plays upright bass. And Miles is played for Lindell for years and played. He's on the road with a guy named Andrew Duhan, and he plays with this European guy, James Hunter 6 or something like that.
Oh, the James Hunter, right?
Yes, yeah. He's
People Gonna Talk. People Gonna Talk is one of my favorite songs.
Oh,
by
good.
James.
Yeah, so Miles is the
James
upright guy with the real long hair, and he lives here. He's from Baton Rouge, but he lives in New Orleans, and we've written a whole slew of tunes, man, and this one's all about vocals and songs. There's 3-part harmonies. If I had to relate it to anything, it would be, it's not bluegrass. It's more roots than that.
Right.
It would be more along the lines of the Wood Brothers or the Subdudes or something like that. Sorry to stereotype things, but try to give you some kind of image.
Hey.
Which is that project is fun because people, it started during the pandemic. There was nowhere to play. There's a place called Scyther Seafood over in Jefferson Parish. Aaron and I started playing acoustic because that's all the gigs you could do around here. You had to sit outside, as we all know. You couldn't go into clubs. So we started doing acoustic. We said, man, we need a bass player. Let's find an upright. We said, Miles, come play some bass. People started loving it. And then people started having these outdoor things. And they would say, get the Riverbenders guys. The Riverbend is the neighborhood we live in, by the way.
Okay.
Dave Malone chimed in from the Radiators. And he said, Jake, we said, we need a band name. We put on the internet. Dave Malone said, Jake, call that band the Riverbenders.
There you go.
So Dave Malone named the Riverbenders. Rush jumped on drums, and boy, we have a fucking riot, man. It is so fun. It's songs. We jam, but it's song based, and it's 3-part harmony and really feature vocals and things that your mama can sing along to.
Right.
It's a little more, has a little bit of country in it,
Right.
while all the other projects are not. You know what I'm saying? They're because we all have a little, New Orleans is like that. There's this little piece of country music that still lives in all this. I hear it kind of embedded deeply in there. So that band is playing at the Maple Leaf Tuesday as well, right after the Tribal Gold. Okay, so I think we're going to be running, if you know what I'm saying. One gig ends at 7, maybe that we play 6 to 7 with the Tribal Gold at the Threadheads, and we run over to Maple Leaf.
Play by 8.
You asked, you shall receive. Right. And then let's see. And then the next, I'm leaving some stuff out, but right. Here's a fun one. The Colonel Bruce celebration. Okay. the Colonel Bruce celebration is something that Colonel used to come to New Orleans when he was still alive, obviously, and the Maple Leaf. Let me just put it out there. Bruce didn't play at Tipitina's or the Howlin' Wolf or anywhere else with a lot of people. Bruce played at the Maple Leaf to about 40 people, right? And those of us that knew. And he loved to eat at Giacomo's next door. And he loved to come over to my place, which is in the neighborhood, and sleep. And it was just kind of his little hang. He would come just to eat at Giacomo's, really. He would, I don't even think he just wanted to go eat at Giacomo. No, but that was his place. That was a place that always took care of him. So when he passed, I got a handful of offers to put something together for him, knowing that we had a repertoire together, for lack of a better word. And I said, I feel dirty putting a repertoire a tribute show or celebration on at a place that Bruce wouldn't even have pulled. People wouldn't come out at the end of his life.
Right.
He was such an underground individual. And when you first saw him, you might be like, what is going on here? And if you didn't know the power of the situation and his presence,
Right.
So I said, I'll Doug from the Maple Leaf, Doug, he's the agent there, always took care of Colonel Bruce. Bruce was part of the family. He said, Jake, let's do something here, man. Because Bruce would always come every year, a couple times. This is where I met Dwayne Trucks and Kevin Scott, all these different guys when they would come to play the Maple Leaf, because you could talk to everybody because there wasn't that many people there, So I guess it's been 6 years now, I think. 6th annual. Every year we've done it, and we've had everybody from O'Teal, Marcus King, Jen Hartswick, Luther Dickinson, Roosevelt, Collier, David Schools, Dwayne everybody's come out over at some point to play, and we're doing it again. Every year I'm like, oh, we're going to do it again. Here we go. So this year it's Thursday night, which would be May 4th, I think. Is that right?
Okay.
And it's, not being Thursday night in New Orleans, a Thursday night can go from 6 p.m. till 4 a.m. Okay, 6 a.m. That's still Thursday night to us. Technically, yes, I understand it starts at 1 a.m., so it is Friday morning. No, it's not. It's Thursday late night, all right? So this year, let me see if I can remember, we have, and there'll always be more that add on and somebody that decides they can't make it. So we have the rhythm section is Terrence Higgins, myself, Kevin Scott, who was Colonel Bruce's bass player, C.R. Groover, Luther Dickinson from the North Mississippi All-Stars, Jennifer Hartswick. I can't remember if Roosevelt, Collier, and Lamar Williams Jr. are going to be able to make it, but they're on the bill right now. I got to see if they're on or not. I can't remember if that's going down. I'm leaving people out. Like the guy named Nick Johnson, who was Colonel's guitar player. I'm leaving out one of the exciting names. Me, C.R. Groover. Yeah, so it's a great night. I should have written this stuff down, but that'll be fun. And it always, and O'Teal's playing right before us, so he's playing with Johnny Vodakovich at the early show. So I don't know who's going to show up, right? And every year, so like about 3 people or 4 people end up on that gig that are not billed. So, oh yeah, you know what's another good one is oh yeah, we play at There's something every day, but I'll leave that one out. Then the Tribal Gold, the Mardi Gras Indian and project called Tribal Gold, which is the Suspects with the Big Chief Juan Pardo, is playing at a full 2-set show over at Zony Mash on the second Thursday. What would that be? The same day as the Colonel Bruce, before the Colonel Bruce show, play that, and then I'll run over to the Colonel Bruce shows. And you know how it is. It's like you will see somebody's name on 2 bills. You're like, how are they going to do that? They're going to do it.
Dirty Dozen playing?
Dirty Dozen is playing. Usually they just play like one show and then maybe a jazz fest gig or something. But Roger from the Dirty Dozen is now like 81.
Yeah,
he was from Fats Domino's band, man. He was such an amazing person to travel with, because you got the real story, man. We used to play with one microphone. through a guitar amp, and you sang through it, and you play guitar, and the saxophone was going through there. Y'all are spoiled. You know?
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.